Might be the end of the line for Windows 10. Sony's got a really sweet drone, and Amazon Luna is yours to try. How's it going, everybody? This is Dave LeClaire with MUO Tech Bytes, and it is time to take a look at the biggest tech news from the last 24 hours. Let us hop in right away, right quick, right now, right here, right then, right now, and let's see what the first story is. So when Microsoft first put out Windows 10, it claimed that it would be the final version of the operating system. It all would come down to this. This would be the final Windows. But that appears is not to be the case, as Microsoft has recently updated its Windows lifecycle page, and on it, it has said that Windows 10's lifecycle will be coming to an end on October 14th, 2025, which is not too far away. Now, what's really interesting about this is that Microsoft tends to support Windows for 10 years. Each version of Windows tends to have a 10-year lifecycle. So for Microsoft to end support for Windows 10 after 10 years, maybe this was some type of automatic thing in the system that popped up and said, oh, Windows 10 is approaching 10 years. We need to announce that we are going to end support for it. And maybe Windows 10 isn't going anywhere. But considering that Microsoft has an event at the end of June where it plans to announce the future of Windows, we're quite confident that Windows 10 is going the way of the dodo and there is going to be a Windows 11 right around the corner. Now, what will come in Windows 11? We will have to wait till June 24th when Microsoft has its big event to find out. But hopefully it's some big game-changing shifts in the operating system, because if you go out and say that you're going to make Windows 10 the final version of Windows ever, and then you decide to release a new version, that new version better have some game-breaking changes, because otherwise people are going to be very disappointed. Sony has announced its first drone, and it is not priced for the faint of heart, as this bad boy is going to set you back $9,000 or over $10,000 if you want the drone with a gimbal. But don't let that scare you, because this is a crazy looking drone that is able to carry a full-size camera as well as the gimbal, and it can do all kinds of crazy maneuvers. It has a decent flight time in terms of battery life, and this looks like a drone built for professionals that is absolutely worth keeping on your radar. So an interesting thing to note about the drone is that it has a top speed of 55.9 miles per hour, which is pretty impressive. That is some serious speed, especially when you consider that it's going to be carrying some weight on it. So speaking of weight, if you have everything fully kitted out, you have your camera on there and the gimbal, you're going to get about 12 minutes of battery life from the drone. If you're flying with just the drone and you're not planning on taking any pictures or videos, you just want to fly around for fun, you'll get about 22 minutes of battery life, which is decent enough. I mean, it's not exactly going to get you through a day's work, that's for sure. You're going to be charging this thing multiple times if you're doing an all-day shoot, but it's still pretty good. It has 5 stereo and 2 infrared cameras that help it sense where it is and help it fly stable and help it not crash into things. So that's always nice if you spend this kind of money on a drone. $9,000 is a lot of money. You probably want to make sure that it has all the safety sensors to keep it flying and keep it safe. Now, Sony also says that this camera will work with pretty much all of its major mirrorless cameras, as well as many other companies' cameras, though it didn't get into specifics. Obviously, Sony would prefer that you buy one of their cameras instead of going out and buying a Panasonic or another company like that. So with that said, if you're looking for a professional drone that can get out there with your real camera and capture some incredible videos and footage, this is definitely one to consider. Just be prepared that it is going to cost you a lot, upwards of $10,000 if you want the gimbal, but it's probably worth it if you are in that field. And in our final story of the day, you could finally try out Amazon Luna, Amazon's game streaming service, without an invitation. All you have to do is be a Prime member, and you could sign up for a 7-day free trial and get in there and try out all the games. Just make sure to cancel after the 7 days if you don't like it, because you will be charged $5.99 a month after that. And if you don't want to keep the service, you probably don't want to keep paying for it every month. But if you do want to keep the service, it's not a bad price for what you get. You can play Amazon Luna games on Windows PCs, Fire Macs, Amazon Fire TV, iPhone, iPad, and several different Android smartphones. So there's probably a device that you own that you can play these games on. You don't need to have any type of high-end specs. It's all done over streaming. So if you're interested and you're a Prime member, give it a shot. If you're not a Prime member, maybe this is the thing that puts you over the edge and makes you sign up. And with that, this episode of MUO Tech Bytes is over. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. I hope you will click that thumbs up button, give me an old-fashioned like. I hope you will subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another episode of Tech Bytes. And I will see you in the next one.